Truth Man here. We got time. So on this video, I want to talk about relationships and money mistakes not to make in your 20s, guys. Relationship and money mistakes not to make in your 20s. Now, let's start with relationships. I wouldn't have no babies out of wedlock without having no less $15,000 or more in cash saved up. Really $15,000 if you married. If you not married, $100,000. If you ain't got $100,000, and I'm not talking about money that they can come raid you and take from you. I'm talking about money you don't work for with business or jobs. I wouldn't have no kids. Not in your 20s. That's the first mistake. Don't make that mistake. You'll get a chance if you keep living to have kids. And it's not as easy as you think. Like, I think I had an easier time than most people do. But what if your kids ain't like my kids? My kids, they did bad things that kids do in terms of their behavior, like experimenting and stuff. Like one time my son had grease all over the place, all over himself. They gonna do little bad stuff. But collectively, ain't none of my kids, none four of them been like a major issue or even halfway. But what if that's not the case with you? What if your kids is the bad kids? So, no kids without your money right. Cash. I ain't talking about on no debit card, no credit card. I'm talking about cash in the bank or somewhere else. Don't have no kids. If you are not married, which we're gonna get to that, $100,000 in cash before you even have your first kid. $100,000. Then that way, you know these women like to switch up and turn on you. You already got money a lot of money that they can't even take from you. And if she start acting up, you already got a lot of money. You could dump her, even if she gonna get some of it. You still gonna have a lot, because you had it before you got with her. So don't be making babies broke. That's number one. Number two, do not get married. Don't get married unless, here's an exception, you've been with her. Let's say you got with her at 20. At 25, she's still cooperating. I'll leave it to you in that case. Give it 5 years. If you even have one instance involving other men, texting back and forth, this, that, call it off, start all over again. Y'all can't be letting these women get away with doing stuff in regards to other men and you with them. Like, I can see if you not with them, then you can't really dictate nothing. You got to be fair about it. But if you're in a relationship with them, no phone numbers, no texts, no emotional affair, none of that for at least 5 years before you even consider it. And even after you consider it, give it 2 more years. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. You get to telling these chicks you love them and you get to trying to make them your only girl. That's when they start switching up on you. Like, they'll accept and forgive you for everything until you start doing that. I'm telling you. So take that marriage stuff slow, or it's a no. Either one. Either one. Next thing, don't move in with her and don't move her in. Don't move in with her and don't move her in. You're not going to be able to get a good gauge of who she is as a person if she live with you. I know that sounds weird, don't it? she don't live with you. You can creep past the house. You know, you can find out. She got a little freedom, got the loose rope. Give her a chance to put that loose rope around her own neck. And I don't mean that literally, YouTube. I'm figurative. But don't move in with them, and don't move them in your 20s at all. If you ain't took her down the aisle, even if she your concubine, I would give it time still. Make her your concubine for 5 years. You know, make her a concubine all through your 20s, man. And then if she's still acting right at 30, then you might can take another step. Take your time, man. Take your time. Take your time. Next thing. Don't settle for one girl in your 20s. I wouldn't ever. I'm 50 and I'm not settling for one. I never deal with just one. If they don't like it, then oh well. If none of them like it, then I'll just be by myself. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not putting myself through that. That doesn't work. People break down, people get lazy. There's a bunch of stuff undone. So don't give up your women. Next thing, don't do what I used to do. It didn't get me nowhere. It's just a waste of time. Don't lie to these women. You got to learn while you're young to be a man and be manly and tell these chicks the truth. You're a man. They not no man. So you should be able to tell them the truth and deal with and conquer whatever comes your way. You know, so don't do that. Now let's get into some of the money stuff. If y'all want me to continue in this series or make this a series, y'all gotta do content by request, man. We're gonna do 30s, 40s. We're gonna do the other age groups too. First, money situation. Do not spend too much on clothes. Don't even spend more than 10% on clothes. When you buy clothes, just keep your clothes. If you got to put them in the cleaners, put them in the cleaners. Keep a nice crease in them, man, and you'll be fine. You don't have to be buying clothes every second, man. And if you do want to shop like that, then just let it be a percentage. So if your check is 600, you say, okay, every time I get this 600, I'm only going to do 10% clothes. So I'm going to do 60. That's a nice shirt. Or that's some jeans. Or that's a couple packs of drawers, couple socks. If you keep doing 60, you're going to build up your wardrobe over time. You don't got to spend. See, we're going to get to that. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Don't spend all your money on clothes. Don't even spend a lot of your money on clothes. 10% of whatever you making on clothes. 10%. The next thing, don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't keep up with the Joneses. What you have should be based on what you have. If you got a lot of money, you making a lot of money, then you can buy more things. But don't try to keep up with other people. Don't do it. What is that, a light? Yeah, that's a light. I'm seeing a light right here. In fact, it looks like I had something on my glasses. Next thing, save, and save. Don't spend all your money up. Save your money in your 20s, man. You ain't gonna be 20 forever. That wasn't that long ago. I can remember my 20s vividly. So don't go, I told you, don't spend too much on clothes. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Save. Save, man. You gotta build your mind up to save. Next thing, Start while you young with a budget. The times I got in trouble, I got away from having a budget. I remember when I used to have everything wrote down. And it's like, I had like 7 credit cards. They all was paid for. I had new cars. I had owned a house. I had everything. And I still had money left because I was writing down everything. I started getting in trouble when I started doing impulsive things. Like if you gamble and stuff, you should already have it planned out how much you gonna play and when you gonna play and how you gonna play. And what you decide shouldn't affect everything else that you do. That's mistakes I was making when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. So don't do that, man. Keep a budget. Start a budget early. Write down all your bills that you have. Divide it by your pay frequency. If you get paid every week, that's by 4. If you get paid every 2 weeks, that's by 2. If you get paid every month, that's by 1. But you always, next thing we talked about saving, pay yourself first. What does pay yourself first mean? It means that you take out something and you give it a destination for yourself. We already talked about saving, so you already gonna be doing that. But you wanna have your goals in mind, your bucket list in mind. Like if you wanna take a trip, if you wanna take a trip, you done saved, you took your money out to save. Now you save up for the trip. That's second tier save. I didn't get to take hardly no trips through my 20s because I got away from handling my money like that. And I'm going to make up for that not taking trips. You better believe it. And that's one of the things I regret, man. I wish I would have did more vacationing. Yeah, we used to go down south and stuff like that, but I've never left the country. And there's still a bunch of states I ain't been to yet. But see, you can do all of that stuff if you plan it out. You plan it out, you could do it. Next, don't spend too much on these women. Now, I'm a guy that says it's okay to pay for the first date, but I just don't believe in like trying to impress a woman with a date. That first date is going to be something plain. Like, I want to see how she react to me not trying to show off. And then as I get to know her, like once we become a thing, then we start going to the better places. But guess what? You going to have to pay sometime. If you ain't willing to pay, I ain't willing to have you stay. These women gotta be willing to pay, man. No leeches. No leeches, man. So don't be spending too much on if you choose to get married, don't get a marriage license, but don't spend too much on your wedding or the ring. That ring don't really mean a thing. So don't spend too much on it. Now, if she make it, like if she just unicorny 10 years in, every anniversary, you can get her a nicer ring. One of the things I think she is bitter about is how times was getting tough. She had to pawn all her rings. Hey, when you listen, I'm not making excuses for myself, but when there's only one person working, unfortunately, those things happen sometimes. You know? But if you're going to be bitter against a man, don't be with him. Because a woman is bitter against her man. It's not gonna go away. It's not. And I can tell you that firsthand because I know all the stuff that she's bitter about. It don't go away. It just, the next thing just add on top of the last thing. So I would encourage a person, if you feel that way, man, just go start over. But you're a bitter person, you're going to find a reason to be bitter against the next person too. But yeah, don't spend a lot on no ring. Next thing, grind, work hard, man. Don't work no one job. I don't care if you're making $100,000. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have secondary income, third if you can, and fourth if you can. That's the next thing. Now, relationship, we talking about with women and friendships. Next thing, don't spend too much time kicking it. It's all right sometimes. You deserve that, especially if you work hard. But don't spend too much time hanging out, man. Because I'm telling you, if you get broke or you get sick or you end up in jail or something, those dudes you wasting that time with, you ain't going to hear from them. I remember we used to be deep on the block. And yeah, I ain't going to say they be acting funny and stuff like that. They were acting funny, but I think over the years that I got wiser, I believe it was because it's hard for you to try to preach to people that you ain't been around. It's hard enough if you have been around. They looked at it like I'm trying to preach to them and I was out there with them. But I noticed like over the years they done softened up. Like they don't really act as stiff with it as they used to, because they know. Now they understand that it wasn't even like that. It was me, to be honest with you, it was just me trying not to get caught up. I always thought about my guys, man. Always had love for them dudes I grew up with, man. That's why I told y'all when I saw my one guy, we talking and stuff when he left, I felt kind of sad, like, man, all these years, I should have been around him more. Because I was thinking about, I wasn't around him to be around somebody that just to end up just quitting on me. Like, I was thinking, like, man, I should have kept going around them dudes, man. Should never let no relationship with no chick stop you from being around your friends. It shouldn't, because what happens when she's gone? What happens when she move on? Now it's like you done gave her an advantage. You should never give up your friends or your women. That y'all be giving chicks advantages, man. Then they'll been sabotage the whole family and they'll move on to another dude. And you gotta pay them and all this other stuff. It's not worth it. That's why in your 20s, next thing, we going back and forth. We back on relationships with this point. Make you take them serious. Don't mistreat women. There's no need. Be honest with them. Be stoic. But don't be too serious. You know what you need to be serious about? Your relationship with the Heavenly Father. The world could end. Or you could die. And your money and your health. Y'all trying to be in a serious relationship. You're only 23. Man, please, man. These women now, they might not be better, but some of them looking better than ever, man. I still give a slight edge to women in the 90s, but there's some attractive women around here. In the world in general. It is, man. It is. Next thing with your money, invest. Don't invest to get wealthy. Invest to hold on to something more than what you save. That investing to me is separate savings. That's separate. I do believe that it comes more in handy long term than short term. Like index funds. Look, go to a financial advisor and get set up with some index fund. Don't just rely on no 401k, because you might want to quit the job. Have you an index fund or that type of stuff set up where you could just keep, even if you switch job, you just keep putting in there. Keep putting. Next thing, like build up to a standard and a status with cars and houses. Let me show you what I mean. Start out renting. You know, if it's just you, get you a nice apartment in a nice area where you ain't got to worry about somebody breaking in your stuff. With decent rent, manageable rent. Try to keep your rent and your car expense shouldn't be more than half. At the most, I would try to keep it around maybe 35-40%. What you pay for your car and where you live. I would do it like that. And as you build up your money, just start paying cash. Because when you pay cash for stuff, it's an asset. It's not a liability. If you don't know what those words mean, look them up. Asset, A-S-S-E-T. Liability, L-I-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y, liability. You don't know what those things mean? Look them up. I'm going to help you, man. No more last place. Next thing. You can be tough. Lift your weights, get your guns. But do not thug. No thugging. Don't thug. If your guys is thugs, you're going to have to do what I did, man. You're going to have to separate. Unfortunately, I wish I could have been around. That's the only reason. That's the main reason why I stopped going around them. Because I knew that, you know, in my situation, there was some things going on. They was already hot and heavy on me. And I decided I'm not going to prison. I'm not finna even go to jail. I made that decision. So, no thugging. You 20-something, you a grown man now. You gotta leave. That's little boy stuff. We used to steal, bust bottle, all that stuff. That's little boy stuff. Fighting over everything, little boy stuff. You get in your 20s, you gotta try to avoid fighting. Get you some money, man. Get a strut. Get you primp in the mirror like, yeah, I'm looking right. Just be smooth, be cool. Dudes be walking around here looking like wildlife. When I see that look, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hood face ninjas. I call them hood face. It's a certain look. Y'all know what I'm talking about, where people got a hood face. Be careful around them type of dudes, man. They don't care. They'll take you down right with them. Little hood face ninjas. Walking around looking like an alligator or something. Some of these dudes be looking. Y'all ever seen dudes? They got a pit bull on a chain, but they look like him? Like, man, you look like that dog. Be careful, man. Be careful out here. In your 20s, man, if you do those things, I'm telling you, you're going to be all right, man. You're going to be all right. You want these chicks to like you, man? Be stoic. Be like, don't you love me? I mean, you're all right. You know, I don't believe in that love stuff like that. I think y'all women be acting up. Why can't I move in with you? I mean, we've been together 6 months. We'll say, no, you ain't moving in with me. You better figure it out. Go get you a second job. Oh, it's like that. I'm going to get somebody else. Go get you somebody else. I'll just get somebody else. When they say they're going to get somebody else, tell them, go ahead. I'll get somebody else too. I cannot, like, all the years I just allowed that kind of talk, man. Like, it's a lot of stuff I just regret. This is why I'm teaching y'all young dudes, man. You don't let no woman keep talking about getting with somebody else or leaving you. You know she gonna turn on you down the line when she be saying that. But anyway, we'll upload this video, man. Pay close attention to what I said in this. And it's time for some of y'all to hit that like button, hit that share button, and share them financial resources. No amount is too small or too great. If y'all think I'm helping y'all, then help me. With that being said, we're going to do 30-somethings, 40-somethings. We ain't going to do them today, though. We'll probably save that for like tomorrow or something. Stay tuned.